I'd like to welcome everyone to the Sheridan Redevelopment Commission meeting for September 23rd, 2025. Before we get started, please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Looks like we have Commissioners Bragg, Ells, and Williams present. We do have a quorum. First item, prior meeting minutes. If everyone has had a chance to look at the meeting minutes from the August meeting, I'll entertain a motion. It's a good question. Yeah, you don't need the exact date. Just
Okay. I make a motion to approve minutes for August meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the meeting minutes from our August 2025 meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes. Old business, Sheridan facade improvement grant update.
We're gonna start with Julian first, and then we'll run through the things that you can have everything that you always do.
This will be, yeah, this will be for 500 South Main and 502 South Main.
Okay.
So we are requesting payout for those two parcels. The committee recommends award payout in the amount of the full match of 10,000 on 500 South Main as a match for the 25,850 that was expended. And a full match of 10,000 on 502 South Main as a match for the 23,250 that was expended. You'll see from the photos, the windows and such on the backside. But the owner wants to note that the commitment to completing the window installation that is in place and the door installation that is underway for a total additional out-of-pocket cost of $15,140. There in the file, there is a letter from Jared Keever requesting the payout. Total cost of this awarded project upon a completion is $64,140, exceeding the original estimate of $53,090 at the time of the request. So you have the photos, you have the estimate, and then the two roofs and then the doors or the windows and the door.
Is this two separate checks?
Two separate.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, so that's there are two separate properties.
Okay.
And you awarded them as two separate properties.
Are they awarded? Who are they made out to?
Heber's hardware.
Okay.
Recall the program documents
Mhm.
are per parcel. So
Yes.
one owner can have multiple parcels. They have a unique parcel ID.
Right. I was mostly for motion and specifically who we're making it out to. We're trying to be clear on that now. So Keever's hardware.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's letters document and they do a full plan.
Okay. Is there any discussion from the commission? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve payout for Keever's Hardware at 500 Main Street in the amount of $10,000.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve the full payout of $10,000 to Keever Hardware at 500 South Main. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes.
Okay. And then for 502,
Yeah, I make a motion to approve payout for 502 Main Street to Keever Hardware for $10,000.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second for full payout of $10,000 to Keever Hardware at 502 South Main. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes as well.
thank you.
And
Did
you
you-
don't know, if Hebers would like to tell you, the door got set today. So it just wasn't ready to get set in time. So the windows are in, the door set, it's not turned out yet. So if you want.
It looks really amazing. Can I get signatures?
Yeah.
So what she's getting now, we have another payout, it's on 208 South Main. It was basically a tuck point and repainting. You have that in your file as well. Basically, it was what was, you originally awarded, the request was 11,750, but it only cost them 11,250. So you'll note at the bottom of that one-page summary, it adjusts the payout that we would have been paying. So their payout is $5,625. If you look at the picture, I tried to make sure you could see, we haven't really had this yet. We're going to have it soon on the corner building and the Creek Stewart building, but the tuck point is on the facade, and that's why I gave you the third picture. It's also on that side building. They did not go to the back because there's some plans of what might happen back there on that building, but we did capture tuck point because, you know, that's what we're trying to do, get them tuck pointed. So basically, the only thing in their award and in their original sketches you can see, and I imagine this is a future project, I don't know, they were wanting to get the wooden door and the wooden planter, but it was not part of the match agreement. So it was just agreeing to pay for the paint and tuck point. So it's 208 South Main. The whole project is 11,250 and the request for payout is $5,625. And this will be made to Kurt Weitzel. And in the full files of documentation that he is the owner of Sugaboo Properties, which is the property deed.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Nope. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve payout at 208 South Main Street for $5,625 to Kurt Weitzel.
I'll second that motion.
Motion is second to pay out $5,625 to 208 South Main and Kirk Whitesell. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed. Passes.
Sorry about that. A little delay.
No, you're good. You are good.
So the next one is a grant request. And I do want to tell you a little bit, go a little more deeply. I've got my one page up. There's a good file on this, but if you look at the screen, that on the left, of course, is the current condition. That front from that metal up is an original Mesker metal front. That is all metal. And if you, and that is a highly desirable architectural detail. And the owner has met with Ball State. They've talked with the products they're going to use. They will be scraping that with all the things that are recommended by preservationists, and it has to get coated. And then if you see on the right, that intricate painting will be done. The labor on this project is intensive. You'll see, if you looked at your full file there's going to be, I think it's, I think I put it in there for you, how long it's going to take them to do that. Let me find that for you. But that's going to make it one of the most significant buildings then on Main Street because of that Mesker building. And so what's going to happen now, and this is something else I wanted to give a little background. Jennifer and Dennis and I met with the three owners. So you have that building, you have the residential building next to it, and on the right of that, you have the 305 building, which you awarded the grant last month for them to get started. So we met to talk about that metal awning because it goes across 3 shared buildings. Could be complicated. It wasn't. Jennifer and I were quite pleased. The owners and everyone kind of worked together on what's going to happen there. But what's going to happen is, Ryan, let's start with that one. So that the contractor on this one, that metal that's flat against the front, they've looked behind there. There's not brick and there's not Mesker metal. It's just wooden.
We are assuming that's going to be true on the next two buildings, but we haven't looked behind those yet. So when you granted your award last month on 305, there was some contingency, if you remember, there was a whole explanation about whatever we find behind there will dictate some of that. So we're into that now. 305 will start getting, they're beginning started. I know before this, we lose the weather. I'm just not sure when that will be. 301, there's a lot of prep work. We won't see a lot before the winter. You'll see something's happening on that. Thank you for that. You'll see something that's happening on that building, but there won't be that. So here's what you're going to vote on tonight. 301, that it's done in phases. One of the things I think is important, and this is one of the things that's really helped us in Sheridan. If you remember, we started out with a private grant through United Animal Health. The private grant, 301 had a grant and they've completely tuck pointed that backside. It's beautiful. You have to get excited about tuck point because it means it's going to last another 100 years. So now they're asking for, those are all closed out, which they have to be. So now they're here asking you for the grant to start on the beginning. I wrote it out for you as down there as phase one, just telling you what they did do, the tuck point. But what's going to happen this time, they're going to take off that current awning. They're going to remove those vertical metal panels. Those are going to come out. We don't know what's going to be there. They're going to clean and prep all of the surfaces, including that historic Mesker metal facade. It'll be done following all the practices. And we met with Paul State to be sure we are following those. The prep and that intricate color, you're going to see high labor cost in this project because it is going to be labor intensive. So I wanted to point that out too. If you had the full file, the labor cost, probably not as much as the roof that's down the street, but the labor costs are going to be kind of high on that one. The front of that, it's going to match the reference exhibit. So you can see that is not the front that we went on it. That front has been built out kind of flat. It will have one of the architectural details on our street is the setback door. And then the panels with a lot of glass that will be, if you're looking to the right now, it'll have that number of panels. The door is in your grant saying this. The door can't really be figured out until the windows get set. They are hoping, they prefer an historic retrofit. We have a historic retrofit down in 319, so we have some lessons to learn from it. But they might, when they set that window, it might demand a metal frame door. They're hoping not. That's not what they would like, but we don't, that's not in your grant because we don't know what that's going to look like. And when this part of the grant gets done, you will see the awning's gone, the front's done, the painting's done, and I'm sure the owner would like to come back. If we still have grant money, you know, we're getting kind of the end of this cycle. They do have the awning in the right side will be on that building. It's just not part of this grant request. It will not be the stripe. They've gone back to the designer and they prefer it to be the green of the color up above, but a solid awning, not the striped awning. So that's what you're voting on tonight. So I just went dead over here. So the amount is right now $18,229. So that would give them an optimum match of 10,000. There is some contingency if you look at the full application. Maybe that door gets put in. What they know is they can't get more than 10. Right now, they wouldn't get 10. It's at 18 to 29. They'd only get half. So did I do the math for you? If not, somebody will have to do the math because that's what the match would be. But we're leaving it open to see what happens with that door, and they can't get more than a $10,000 match. I would recommend that your motion sounds something like you're moving that on 301 South Main, that the current estimate of the project is $18,229 with an appropriate 50% match with the contingency that that may go higher and they could get the full 10,000 match. Does it need to be like that? Okay.
What was the estimate
Uh-huh.
amount?
The last amount, right now they're at 18,229, a 50% match of that, or they could go 20 or above, and that would give them a maximum 10%, 10,000 max. I'm sorry.
And it's gonna be painted exactly like that.
That's where they're going. We met, they were in town, the Beauchamps were in town, and it's going to be, I mean, we should just all go down and watch Ryan paint for about a month because it's going to be intensive
It won't be
painting.
the blue building.
Oh, don't you love that? No, but you know,
Never mind. move on.
no, but I believe, I love you guys looking at this shot. Think, if that 301 gets done and you saw her design last month, then somebody's gonna wanna do something better. Most of the two buildings, that's the idea. Anyway, I'm sorry, did you get the wording you needed for a motion?
So,
Okay.
yep, thank you.
Is there any discussion from the commission? I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve application for facade improvement grant at 301 South Main Street. With estimate of $18,229, matching 50%. With the potential of the full 10,000 match.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve the application at 301 South Main. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Approve or opposed? Passes.
I have a couple of preservation related items. You want me to wait till public comments or just do them now? They'll take 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't mind unless,
I was gonna say, next on the list is your request for payout for your contract.
Oh, yeah, and I think this, now I might be wrong about, thank you, I forgot. I might be, that was one of the 2 items, but I forgot I sent it to you. I read it, but you have to decide. The way we did this before, there's an invoice that went from Sheridan Main Street Inc. to the clerk treasurer for the half, which is what we're gonna ask for now, is the 6,000, but I don't think you have to, I don't know if you have to approve to pay that because you approved that it's out there for us. Last time, I think it was just, I was invoicing, so I don't know how to,
I would, given our previous conversation, I would.
okay,
I appeal to the cabinet commission to put that in a record that
Okay.
they're approving this invoice.
Then-
Pursuant to the contract, $6,000.
then let me tell you, here's how the invoice works. I didn't bring you the copy. Okay, Sheridan Main Street Inc. is asking to invoice for 50% of the service contract that has been established for the way that Sheridan Facade Improvement Grant Organization manages this account. That invoice will be presented to the clerk treasurer after our next meeting, which is in 2 weeks, I think, for that payment.
And what's still for the commission's education? You have a service agreement with Main Street Incorporated to manage this grant for $12,000 a year. You pay it $6,000 off the supplies. So I think for your record, and to give direction to the clerk, execute that payment pursuant to the contract with the invoice. So there's no question as to why $6,000 payment is being extended from the Main Street 10. Or what's over the first 6 months of the year.
Yes, it's just that we didn't have it in place, right,
Correct.
right.
And I know we've had a conversation about revamping that agreement. So it's more of all inclusive, if not these small stuff that you're. How we have.
That's true.
So,
whenever you're ready.
Oh.
You're good.
You're the guy. You're the guy tonight.
I make a motion to approve payout for the first 6 months for the service agreement to Sheridan Main Street Incorporated for $6,000.
second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve payout pursuant to the agreement with Sheridan Main Street Inc. in the amount of $6,000. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
We thank you for that. We work hard for it and we're happy to do it, but it is going to help as you're going to see Christmas even grow again this year. So we thank you for that. 2 just items for information. Sheridan Main Street has been planning this. When we start to see buildings that significantly change, especially historically. So there is going to be on October 3rd at 4:30 at 319 South Main, we're going to reveal all the changes in there because you're going to see historic details like frankly, like prism glass, you're going to see marble tile, it's going to be impressive to our town. They don't know what's behind there. So, I sent Austin what we're inviting people to it. It's just a reveal. It's not like an open house and all that. It's a reveal. But I think it's kind of cool that he's able to do that because now Harvest Moon on Main Street, that building will be a really cool thing to have on Main Street. And the last thing is, I don't know, I know it's hard in everyone's life, but next week is Sheridan's is being asked to present as this process at the landmarks at the Landmark Historic Preservation Conference in Fort Wayne. I'll be speaking with Ellen Crabb and JP Hall. We'll be sure you have some information from that. It is kind of a big deal to be asked. And the landmarks is kind of particular. And the idea, it says Sheridan's revitalization, but the idea is how we tried to get a quality benchmark by working with the Center for Historic Preservation. So I'll keep you posted on that.
Congratulations to Frank Lloyd Wright. You know,
Do you want to answer or should I? Your prisons, your Frank Lloyd Wright
Oh,
prisons, it's
well,
gorgeous.
I don't know if you've ever seen, they've got like tours in Chicago, there's a lot of them that still have these transom panes.
Right.
And Frank Lloyd Wright was commissioned by Luxfer Glass, which made these prison glass, the backs are chiseled, and they had different angles on them, depending on, like, that's how they used to light the basement stores before electricity. So he was commissioned to do several designs. I think he did like 46 designs, something like that. And they picked one of them. And it's a floral design is what they call it. It's geometric. It's just geometric, but it's floral. And so you can't buy this glass anymore. You have to go find it from places being demoed or eBay or wherever. So we took a tour across the country and found enough to redo our place. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. We got them from everywhere. Billings, Montana, Chicago, we found a lot, Pennsylvania, Ohio. But yeah, so we just kind of pulled them all together. And of course, we bought extras for the kids, throwing rocks at them. So I'm prepared for it. But yeah, so it was it's probably the most expensive item on that project was that. So
If you can't be there Friday, you need to go and you need to go at dusk. The lighting is going to be gorgeous. They're lavender. They're gorgeous. That was a very humble response. Because where Sheridan Main Street has always thought we would go, once we could get this going, we envisioned there's a pamphlet that says, where could you see Frank Lloyd Wright prison glass? Where could you see a Chihuly chandelier? Where could you see the alabaster, whatever Art Deco columns are? And then the answer is Sheridan. Who would think it's that? So thank you for helping us set the standard. And we're excited about Friday. We really are, aren't we? So thank you. It's a big day because it sets that quality standard. Thank you, guys.
All right, that'll do it for old business. New business, public hearing on the economic development plan.
If I can, Mr. President, thought I'd walk you through what you're up to tonight. And
Please.
then you can open your public hearing.
Yep.
It's been a while since you've looked at this. So first of all, I've made a one-page transaction summary to kind of refresh your memory, and it's got the key exhibits behind it so you know what you're looking at. To refresh your memory, on August 26, you adopted a declaratory resolution declaring the area that is outlined on attachment B as an economic development area and an allocation area for the capturing of tax increment, and adopted an economic development plan for that economic development area. The area is going to be, I should say that on August 28th, the Plan Commission approved your plan, and September 2, the council approved. Right before this meeting, the Economic Development Commission adopted a number of bond documents for recommendation to the town council, which will look at those on October 7th and consider whether to issue the bonds that you were going to be approving a pledge for of the tax increment only from this area. So just to walk through the transaction quickly, It's Greenman Properties. They plan on a $50 million development of the 50.62 acres that are illustrated there, creating between 10 and 20 commercial buildings for everything from light manufacturing to storage. And they've committed to commence that project on July 1, 2027, and have 100,000 square feet of usable building space completed by December 31, 2028. The Economic Development Commission approved for the council's approval a $9.8 million economic development tax increment bond. It's a taxable bond. And your role in the bond is to pledge the payment source, which again is just that tax increment. There's no recourse on the town. If the whole thing goes down the tubes, the town pays nothing. And if it does go forward successfully, which we all hope, the Redevelopment Commission will retain 15% of the tax increment that's created there for whatever purposes you deem appropriate. And 85% of that will be collected in a special fund that will go toward the payment of the bonds. The developer can use those bond proceeds for anything related to the project, any construction costs, site development, professional fees toward that. No real property tax abatement has been committed to in the financing agreement and economic development agreement approved by both the developer and the Economic Development Commission today. They did reserve the right to come back for personal property tax abatement that would likely be a tenant of one of the 10 to 20 buildings it's putting in manufacturing equipment, would like probably to request a tax abatement, property tax abatement from the town. That'll be up to the town to grant at a later date. So before you tonight, you're going to conduct we ran notice of the public hearing. Mr. Higgins delivered a special notice to each of the underlying tax districts from the county to the schools and others. And he indicated no one contacted him regarding that. The clerk treasurer delivered notices as required by statute to all departments that have anything to do with development plans in the town. So we fulfilled all of the obligations to get to where we are now. So you're going to conduct a public hearing, which probably will be pretty short. And then you have two resolutions before you. 08 is the confirmatory resolution that confirms the economic development plan that you approved last time preliminarily. And then 09 authorizes the president to execute, it approves a pledge of that tax increment toward the bonds approved by the EDC and authorize the president to execute the pledge agreement. So with that, happy to answer any questions.
Don't have any. Yeah. Okay. If there is no question from the commission, I will open the public hearing for this item. Seeing no public comment, I will close the public hearing. Moving on to RDC Resolution 2025-08, confirmatory resolution. Do you guys have any discussion? Okay. So, it's just that one. Yeah, make a motion to approve that one.
I make a motion to approve RDC Resolution 2025-8.
Second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve RDC Resolution 2025-8, confirmatory resolution for the Greenman bond issue. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes. Moving on to 2025-09.
I make a motion to approve RDC Resolution 2025-9.
Second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to approve RDC Resolution 2025-09, pledging tax increment for the Greenman bond issue. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes as well.
Mr. President, before you leave, you had a couple of those two resolutions for the signature review. We also had a certification of no interest in the Greenman Developments Company, and we might get a couple of, well, we'll probably hold on to any further signatures until we have the secretary here as well.
Okay. Our next RDC meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, October 28th, 2025 at 6 right here in this room. There's no further action. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. We are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.